The illegitimate son, Smerdyakov, called a lackey, called a eunuch, described as an epileptic, he is the one who actually did the dirty deed. He's the one who will, late in the novel, confess to Ivan that he committed the murder, while pinning the blame on Dmitri. But Ivan, who is the intellectual, the atheist of the book, comes increasingly to understand that he is in some terrible, difficult to measure, but impossible to resist sense, complicitous, implicated, guilty of a deed that, in fact, he did not commit. In fact, he did not commit. In fact, but in spirit, and almost unbeknownst to himself, he did. That's part of the reach, the sinuousness, the depth of Dostoevsky's view of both events and psyche. All of our neat little frames, A does this to B, they don't work in this book. The youngest son, Alyosha, who is a novice in training to be a monk, he is the one who is the most positive spiritual figure within the family. And he's the mediating figure, and I'll say more about that because this book needs a lot of mediation. Let's look a little more closely at these people. What stays in our mind when we have finished this book is how special these Karamazovs are and how difficult to plumb they are, how hard it is to take their measure, to come up with any kind of bottom line sense of them. The more we know about them, the less we understand them, the more mysterious they become. It's worth reflecting on because, in fact, I think life is like that. People are like that. The people that you really know well are the people that it would be very difficult for you to describe in single phrases or tags or labels. But novels frequently do, in fact, give us a kind of cleaner, more delineated sense of their figures. It's not the case in this book. These are layered characters. They seem to go further and further down the further and further you get into them. And I'm even going to risk a parallel with Melville, that they have depths. It's not the depths of the ocean. It's not the depths of a mad captain such as Ahab. It's simply the depths of the human psyche. Let's start with the father, Fyodor. He is a stunning creation. He, of course, is the victim of the novel, if we want to call him a victim. But what I really want to say is that he almost runs away with the text. He's one of the most mesmerizing figures of the book. He is rich, one reason to kill him. He's repulsive, that's another reason to kill him. He happens also to be lecherous and immoral. And he is what we recognize in Dostoevsky's scheme as a buffoon. That's the term that's always used. Now, you may think that a buffoon is somebody who slips on banana peels or makes stupid jokes, but that's not the case with Dostoevsky. A buffoon, I'll give you a definition that I think really sticks for it. A buffoon is a man of whom no one knows what he will do next. It's a very unusual formula for characters in books. No one knows what he will do next. He will surprise you at every single turn. He is physically repulsive. He has fleshy bags under his eyes, grotesque Adam's apple, black decayed teeth. He sprays saliva when he talks. Dmitri even says that just looking at him makes you want to kill him. You really get the sense that murder is very diversely motivated in this text. How many ways there are for us to hate our fellow creatures. He is also an infamous lecher. There are very painful passages in the novel where he talks to his children about the ways in which he took sexually their mother, humiliating her. He also has a kind of bizarre and sometimes strikingly modern wit. He knows he's a sinner. He knows he's destined for the pit, for hell. But because this book is a book situated at a time where the entire discourse on hell, the notion of hell, the notion that there might be a hell, is up for grabs, is being rethought, then it's worth attending to the way Fyodor imagines hell. He tells Alyosha at one time that he is certain that the devils will drag him down with hooks. Okay, this makes some sense. But given the logic of this book, and given the logic of the buffoon, he doesn't stop with that. He wonders then, well, where will they get these hooks that they're going to drag him down with? He wonders further, well, what are these hooks made of? Are they made of iron? And if they're made of iron, where are they going to get the iron in hell? Might there be a factory just buzzing away in hell where they produce iron so they can produce hooks so they can take people like him down?